Hello children, I hope you are all happy and safe. Welcome to this special English hour. Here, every day, we will sing, dance, listen to stories and have lots of fun together. Are you ready to have fun? Then come, join me in a dance. बच्चों, टीवी के जरा नजदीक आ जाइए और मेरे साथ एक डांस में जुड़ जाइए.
All these animals in the zoo, all day long, what do? Walk, talk, study, no, they dance. All these animals in the zoo, how do you think do the snakes dance? They wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle and wiggle. All these animals in the zoo, how do you think do the penguins dance? They waddle. Waddle, waddle, waddle and waddle. All these animals in the zoo, how do you think do the elephants dance? They sway. Sway, sway, sway and sway.
Children, I hope you all enjoyed the dance we just did. Now, let me ask you a few questions and let us share our thoughts and ideas. बच्चों, अब मैं आपसे कुछ सवाल पूछना चाहूंगी. Children, do you remember Mrs. Desai and her class of students? Yes, Mrs. Desai and her class wrote a formal letter to their principal. That day, we learned how to write a formal letter. What did the students write in the letter? बच्चों ने लेटर में क्या लिखा था? Mrs. Desai's class requested the principal to allow them to issue books from the library and take it home. Why did they write this letter? They had to write this letter because they had many new books coming into their library, but they only had one library class per week, and that too was just half an hour. This time was not enough for the children to read their books. That's why the class decided that they would request the principal to allow them to issue books and take them home. बच्चों, आशा है आपको मिसेस देसाई और उनकी क्लास का जो लेटर उन्होंने अपनी प्रिंसिपल को लिखा था वो याद है. मिसेस देसाई की क्लास ने प्रिंसिपल को लेटर लिखा था कि उन्हें लाइब्रेरी से बुक्स इशू करके घर ले जाने मिले ताकि वो लोग उसे घर पर पढ़ पाएं. आइए देखते हैं आगे क्या होता है. Come, let's see what the principal says. While learning a language, it's very important that we learn new words. Now I will share with you a set of new words. Please note them down in your notebook. We will come across these words in the lesson as we read. Try to guess their meaning. बच्चों, अब मैं आपके साथ कुछ नए शब्द शेयर करूंगी. आप उन्हें अपनी नोटबुक में नोट कर लीजिए और फिर लेसन पढ़ते वक्त हमें वो शब्द मिलेंगे। उनका मीनिंग, अर्थ आप गेस करने की कोशिश करिएगा। Now let's have a look at these words. The first word is aroused, aroused, aroused. The second word is appeal, appeal, appeal. The third word is allow, allow, allow. The fourth word is librarian, librarian, librarian. The fifth word is received, received, received. The 5 new words that we learned today are aroused, appeal, allow, received, and librarian. Children, we spoke about the letter Mrs. Desai and her class wrote to their principal. Would you like to know what the principal's response was? Then come, let's read together lesson number 17, No Formalities, Please. Please open your textbook to page number 38. If you have a textbook, please point to the words as I read. And if you don't have a textbook, please listen to me carefully. No formalities, please. Part 2. Mrs. Desai met the principal soon after class. She told her about the excitement that followed the announcement of new books in the library. They just cannot wait to read all those lovely books. She beamed. The principal was also delighted and praised her. The credit goes to you, Mrs. Desai. You have created and aroused their interest in reading books. It is going to help them a great deal in future. The day when Mrs. Desai and her class wrote the letter to the principal, that very same day, Mrs. Desai met the principal after class. Mrs. Desai tells the principal how happy the children were to hear about the new books at the library. The principal is also happy listening to this. But she tells Mrs. Desai that it is because of the interest she has aroused in the children, she has created in the children towards books and the habit of reading, that the children are interested in reading books. Mrs. Desai and her class wrote a letter to the principal. Mrs. Desai made sure to meet the principal the very same day. She informed the principal how happy her class was listening to the news of the new books that had come to the library. The principal was also happy listening to this, but she gave all the credit to Mrs. Desai. She told Mrs. Desai that it is because she had aroused, she had created the interest of reading in children, that the children were so happy to get these new books. The principal also told Mrs. Desai that this habit of reading will also help the students in future. Yes, madam, said Mrs. Desai. But they find the weekly library period too short a time to read. So, my students are going to appeal to you to allow home issue of books. They have written to you a letter of request. A letter? Why? Asked the principal in surprise. I had to teach the class how to write polite, formal letters, and I took this opportunity to make them actually write a formal letter, explained Mrs. Desai. Excellent, Mrs. Desai, exclaimed the principal, and I shall not dampen their interest in reading. I shall certainly allow them to take books home for reading. The principal was pleasantly surprised. She asked Mrs. Desai, why did the children of class 4 have to write a letter? Mrs. Desai told the principal that she had to teach formal letter writing to the children that day, and she saw an opportunity in this to actually make them write a formal letter. The next morning, the principal found the letter on her desk. She signed the letter with the remark, "Permission granted," and sent it to the librarian. To encourage the children of class 4, further, the principal instructed the librarian to give a written reply to the students, and here's what he wrote. Children, let's read what the librarian wrote to the students. On the top right corner, you will see the sender's address. Library, Pragati Vidyalay, Vachanpur, 7th July 2014. Next comes the receiver's address. To the students of class 4. Since this letter is written to the students of class 4, it's their address that has been put here. Dear children, I am delighted to know that you are so keen on reading the new books in our school library. The principal has been kind enough to grant to your class permission for home issue facility. I shall keep the library open for an hour after school on all weekdays. You can come and collect any one book of your choice and return it the following week. But I must urge you to read and observe the library rules displayed in the library. Do come and enjoy reading the books. Sincerely yours, Mr. Vijay Patil, Librarian. Mr. Vijay Patil was the librarian of the school. He told the students in a formal letter that they will be allowed to issue books and take them home. He also tells them that every day after school, on all days of the week, the library will be open for 1 hour. During this time, the children can come and issue books and return the book in the following week. Hey, great news! Cried the monitor. Look, we have received a letter from the librarian. And guess what? We can take storybooks home to read. Wow! Exclaimed Shruti with bright round eyes. Goodbye, boredom. Welcome, happy hours, shouted Akshay. The letter from the librarian was put up on the class notice board for all to read. When Mrs. Desai walked into the classroom, the students of class 4 burst out into many exclamations of thanks. Shall we write a letter of thanks to the librarian? Suggested Manuja. That's an excellent idea, said Mrs. Desai, smiling to herself at this new interest in formal letter writing. This is the letter of thanks the children wrote to the librarian. All the students read the letter that Mr. Vijay Patil, the librarian, had written to them. They were very happy that they had been granted permission to issue books and take them home. They would get 1 hour after school every day to pick whichever book they liked. One of the students suggests that they must write a letter of thanks to the librarian. Mrs. Desai is very happy listening to the newfound interest of children in writing formal letters. So the children get together once again and write a letter of thanks to the librarian. Children, the students of class 4 wrote a letter to the librarian expressing thanks for his kindness. Here we see the address of the sender of the letter. Class 4, Pragati Vidyalay, Vachanpur, 8th July 2014. Here we see the receiver's address. To the librarian, Pragati Vidyalay, Vachanpur. The subject is an expression of thanks. Dear Sir, thank you ever so much for kindly making the home reading facility available to us. We are really grateful that you are going to wait back 1 hour after school just for us. We can now read books of our choice at a stretch. Thank you very much for your encouragement. We promise to abide by the library rules and handle the books with great care. Many thanks once again. Yours faithfully, students of class 4. Children, as you all can see in the letter, here we show the sender's address. On the left corner, we have the receiver's address. Here is the subject of the letter. Here we write who we address the letter to. Here we write the name of the sender of the letter. Children, I'm sure by now you know how to write a formal letter and have also practiced writing the same. Now, I would like to do a fun activity along with you. I will explain different types of sentences to you. In the activity, you will see sentences on your screen and you have to identify their types. Come, let's begin first by understanding the different types of sentences. The first type of sentence is a statement. In a statement, we give information about a thing or a person. The statement ends with a full stop. For example, this is my book. This is my cat. Both are statements. They end with a full stop and they inform us about a thing or a person. The next type of sentence is a command. A command is an order. The command may end with an exclamation mark or it may end with a full stop. For example, Ramesh, go do your homework. So, this sentence has an exclamation mark and it's an order. So, it is a command. It may also be a request. Neetu, please do your work. This is a request. It ends with a full stop. So, there are sentences that may be a command, that's an order, or it may simply be a request. The third type of sentences are exclamatory sentences. Exclamatory sentences are where people express deep emotions or extreme emotions. For example, one may express great sadness. Oh, and this oh may end with a exclamation mark. A person who is very happy may exclaim saying, "Wow, that's wonderful." These two phrases end with an exclamation mark. So, sentences that end with an exclamation mark are exclamatory sentences. For example, "That's a cool car. Wow." Or, "What a lovely day." Okay, the last type of sentence that we are going to see is a question. We ask questions about things and people around. These questions end with a question mark. These are questions. Children, I hope you all enjoyed today's session. Now, I would like all of you to make some time and with the help of your family member, please write an informal letter to one of your friends or relatives. Write a formal letter with the help of your family member for any problem or common concern in your family or in your neighborhood. For example, if your street lights are not working or the cleanliness in your street is not maintained, you can write a formal letter to the concerned department with the help of your family member. Okay, children, till we meet next time, please take care. Bye-bye and stay safe.